Hey guys, so it's been a while since I've been on. I've been pretty busy. As you can see, Munchkin no longer fits in my hands. Her paw does. She's gone quite a bit. Just over 6 months now. So we've been pretty busy. Um, a lot busier than I thought I'd be, and a lot of changes going on. So I wanted to catch up with everybody now that I have things structured that I'm going to start doing my videos again. Hi guys. Just do a quick rundown of what I've been doing, what I'm planning. Some of you know, some of you may not. As you know, I was living in Connecticut, New York area on the East Coast. Still getting confused a bit. We'll go down to Virginia a bit, but I've completely moved everything over to Indiana. Still getting used to the time change, although I've been here for over 6 weeks already. It's a little different. I think today I was saying I was going to go on at like 9 and put Eastern Standard Time and forgot that I'm not in Eastern Standard Time anymore. So it's been some adjusting, but we made a move with Missy and brought Munchkin, as you can see. So she's going through a lot of changes. Um, and just wanted to give you guys a little bit more background on me now that I'm not running around crazy outside with all the puppies of all the dogs and as much distraction, and what I'll be doing. So first, as you all know, mostly I do a lot of dog grooming. The reason I started doing that was breeding a Havanese and loving and passion of that. It's a lot of brushing and grooming myself. But what more led me to the grooming side was the actual knowledge of how it's so important for the health of the dog. I'm more into making sure the dogs are raised properly, the health is maintained, and how we could help them be healthy growing up. So we're going to start some informational sessions on from food, raw diets, the difference between puppies needing more DHA in their diets, or what type of shots they need to start growing properly as we then have the puppies turn into our family members and grow with us. Then we'll need to maintain them, how the coat care, how the training side, the behavior aspect of it. As you know, a lot of the dogs that I can handle are hard to handle dogs grooming. It's one for the health of the dog. They do need to be groomed, whether they're a short haired dog or a long haired dog, or no matter how you're keeping the coat, there's information you need to know one way or another. So we want to get that information just out there, be very open minded about it. We all have our own opinions. I have my stance on certain things, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to respect other people's. And I've gone into that a little bit with double coated dogs or shaving or not to shave. As you can see, it's August right now, and Munchkin has pretty much just been maintained. Her coat is about 3.5, maybe 4 inches long by now, but she's not hot. As you can see, I could easily move her here. The wind can get under it. That's my stance on it. As long as it's maintained, you don't need to shave a dog to have them get cool. But, I mean, Havanese are native to Cuba, so that kind of explains it in itself. But we'll get into that later on in other videos. What I want to do now is I have a lot of topics I want to talk about, a lot of information that I want to share from pet professionals. As I see Amy's here, Go Groomer, who's a much better groomer than I am with her willingness to taste facial scrubs and let you guys really know what products are the best. I kind of want to take her advice, her information, and bridge the gap between the professionals and the pet parents. I understand the idea a lot with hard to handle dogs or parents who are scared of where their dog's being groomed, or might want to do the grooming at their own home on their own, but just don't know how, or a lot of the doodles out there. Unfortunately, certain breeders do not inform the pet owners of the labor that's going to be involved and how constant it needs to be, or the education of, they might tell them, but not let them know the right tools. I actually just went to the All American Groom Expo, which is, they have multiple, Barkley does multiple trade shows for groomers, but it's not just for groomers. It's, I believe, like $10 or $15 for anyone in the public. You could go, and there's over 100 vendors at all different ones. They do them in Texas. There's one coming up in Hershey next month, in Atlanta, Seattle, pretty much whatever part of the country, and you could find one. And if you're just a pet owner or you love your animals or you know your whole family, there's dogs in every part of your family, it's worth going to one of those and finding the products that we're using in professional salons or house call groomers, which is another thing I'm going to be going into, which is what I'm trying to do, dealing with the one-on-one appointments and showing how to grow that business or starting from scratch. I don't know if June's here. He might be here later. June the groomer. I know he moved. I'm learning from him because he failed. I love his failure because I've learned a few things from it. He knows that I appreciate that, but a lot of you out there also might be thinking of grooming or might be thinking of what field to go into with your dogs. And how did we start? I didn't go to a professional school or pay for any schooling. I value my time. So I decided to intern and learn from others and give up my time. That's the most valuable thing to me. So that's what I gave up, and it's paid off exponentially. So actually hands-on training, some of the schools out there are great. Some of them not so much. It might just be book work or learning or just reading. I decided to get the hands-on, get in there. I also had my own dogs to play around with, and nobody could yell at me if I cut their hair wrong. And then these expos that I'm talking about, the vendors are there. The people who create certain products, I've gone through them. I've gone through like Pooch products. I have Chris Christensen brushes. That this brush is a nylon bristles, which will stimulate the hair, but then also has boar's head wrapped around, which will spread the oils. We'll talk about that. There's debates on whether Chris Christensen's Moon Comb or Utami's is worth the $85 just for a little comb. A newer product right now, the copper ones that are anti-static, antimicrobial, pretty pricey, but for you groomers out there for cross-contamination and everything, very good. I mean, we should be disinfecting everything all the time anyway, but just a little extra. And then some cool new products, not even that expensive. I know a lot of you know about the Coat Kings or the D-Magnets. Aussie Dog made this one that's actually a wider tooth and a smaller tooth on top. It's actually pretty nice because you don't have to go over twice as much. With smaller dogs, you can't have the wide ones, but the two, one right after the other, is working out pretty nicely, and that's how I'm removing her undercoat and able to keep her coat maintained along. We'll go into those different products. But for those of you who don't want to be groomers, hi, Angela. For those of you who don't want to be groomers, that's one thing else I want to be doing right now is actually going into specifically catering to, you might want to just learn how to do your own dog. There's certain tools you could use. There's certain products you could use. Like I've already mentioned, like Boosh is great. It's a little pricey. It's a luxury item. If you're just doing one dog, it might be great. Another vendor I work with is Nature Specialties. It's on a lot of natural products, but they have a wide variety of products for you, whether you need something for degreasing or have a dog out all day, every day. One of the newer products I've been trying out is Yard Dog. It's very gentle, so you can use constantly. Then they also have other ones. I love their Shazam and Shea Moore, which I just have, I forgot what it is. One of the oils in there. So many different products that I have to actually be looking at them to remember. Shea Butter. So a lot of pet owners have asked if any grooming products have shea butter in them. That's one of the new things and conditioners for hair and everything that's working out really well. And actually, that's one of the items that they do make that's safe to use on the dogs. Thanks, Amy. So now that you brought up Munchkin, we'll go into her. That's enough on the grooming side. We're going to be going into all those topics. She's very mellow. Like I've said, I've been breeding Havanese, had her since day one, and I'm going to admit to you guys, I could raise puppies. Never really says that I'm a dog trainer, though. I could do basic training. Yes, I know behavior, but I'm learning right now with where I am, where I just moved to. There is a large difference between training and raising a dog. The last puppy I kept was Missy. She kind of runs me. I don't really run her. We've all been there. She's already 6, so I haven't really kept a puppy past 4 months in like 6 years. Yeah, raising them is completely different. Like training them. I got the basics down, but we'll go into detail later. Potty training, good at that. Carpets, usually an issue. I'm having to clean some carpets here. I am for not being on top of the training, but she's very smart. She's learned the right ways. So we're gonna go over. I've actually took one of the puppies from Connecticut to Florida and traveled with one when I went down to see June to Atlanta. So I've flown with puppies. I have information now on how to travel with small dogs. or how to figure out if you can even travel with your dog without having to put them in the cargo bed. I would never recommend putting them um, under where you don't actually have access to them on a plane. But there are ways to travel with them now on board on the plane, whether they're service dog or yeah, let's put her out. She's there. She's just very mellow. Um, so we'll go over traveling with them. I've taken road trips from Connecticut to Virginia with the whole litter of puppies, with a few dogs at a time. I'll backtrack into when it was just me and Hut, who's Mama Hut, grandma. Uh, and I lived with her. So that was the first Havanese in Long Island. We've gone on ferries, we've gone on trains, gone everywhere. And these are 10, 12-pound dogs. People ask, can they keep up with you? Yeah, they can keep up with you. And the easy thing is, if they get tired, you can pick them up. They can literally go anywhere with you. So we don't need to leave them behind. They can really become part of our family, go with our children. Well, your children. All my children are four-legged. But they can go with you as a whole family, as a group, how to get around that or what to expect, what these other places are going to ask from you. Um, I've just noticed, I mean, I don't have children or have any on the way, but there's so many baby books out there. There's so many people just read once they get pregnant or want the information and just, like it says, you don't know what you don't know. When you start reading, you find out these things. So I'm also planning right now um, to be working part-time, maybe in the future, with somebody who is more of a behaviorist, which is an avenue I do enjoy with the dogs and getting involved with them to learn more from them. And I'd like to break that down where I learn and save the time for you to be able to get that information quickly for at home everyday use. And then as I'm building, trying to figure out how to do a house call business here, I am planning on taking something as simple. A lot of you, like I said, might be wondering if you want to be a groomer, how do you start grooming? Not at a salon where you're taking just a commission and they're really keeping most of your money. I've been lucky enough to have an opportunity here where I might be able to try to build that and work on that. You don't, if you look at June the groomer, he doesn't take every client. He has a select clientele. It's okay for us to say no to certain dogs if you're not comfortable doing that, or if you don't know that specific breed. There's more than enough out there for you to do what you need to do and do it right. Just whatever you're going to try to do, just do it right. So right now, I appreciate the interaction with clients or word of mouth. So I'm going to go into one of the local pet stores here, maybe Saturday mornings, just do nail clippings for them. Just something simple as that, but get immersed into the environment here, get a little network, find some people, and let it grow um, naturally, organically from that. And I believe that's the key for me right now, what I'm looking for, and actually getting to know the people before dealing with them. Hi, Angela. And that's going to keep my mental status sane and keep me happy, which will then produce better work. If you're not happy when you're going to work and you're just shaving dogs down every day and you're looking for something else to do, imagine if you were happy and you could do what you want. It wouldn't really feel like work anymore or just a job. Then you could call it a career. Then you can call it what you enjoy doing. Then you wouldn't be saying, I have to go to work on Saturday morning. Instead, you'd be like, all right, I'm going to work for a couple hours. I'll be back to go out this afternoon with you guys. See ya. Go off, do what you want, and come back in a happy mood. Isn't that what we'd all like? So that's where the behavior side of it, and outside of just grooming, I want to get a lot more involved with my dogs and bring that to you, what I've done in the past, what I plan on doing in the future, um, and what I'm learning along the way. By far, I don't know everything, and I'll be learning it, so I'll either be bringing questions up to you guys who are watching, maybe make comments below if you're a professional trainer, professional breeder, professional groomer, and you have some more insight on anything that I might touch right now. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to be able to bring that to people. I know we don't have all the time every day, but I have some time right now, so I'd like to connect everybody. So what I'm going to be doing in the near future right now is I have a lot of topics, a lot of ideas. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'll try. Um, is I'm going to make a couple quick videos every couple days or when I have a chance to, just topics I want to talk about, but just briefly touch them so you guys could get an idea. Right? No, they want to pay attention to you. They're not me. I see you all day long. Um, and what I'll do is I'll pay attention to your comments or like the video if it's something you're interested in knowing more about. I'm just going to touch like brief, let you know what it is, but I have a lot more information on. It's going to be a longer, detailed video. And whichever videos start getting a lot of feedback, a lot of comments, a lot of likes, or you guys are seeing as I'm posting them and let me know, I'm going to jump back to those ones quicker to go into detail on them and give you the information of what is out there. Like I said, traveling with the dogs, raising a dog who's already 6 months old. Right now, Munchkin's about 7 months old, so I have a lot of grooming to keep up with her. It's the end of the summer. She's about to be switching. She's already been switching to her adult coat. So the matting's gonna start piling up. She jumps in the pool. She just got bathed on Saturday and tried to keep her nice and neat, but she jumped in the pool today. Um, so keeping that. Um, versus Missy, who's the mom, who hates the grooming process. I'm going to be actually cutting her hair short again. Um, and we'll get to see what that's like, get to play around with them, experiment. And I'll just be sharing what's going on with us. So I've been, like I said, been tied up, made a move, making changes. Want to share with all of you out there whether what Chelsea is. So let's bring it. Remember when they were just little puppies and I would hold them upside down or to show you if they trust me or not. Look at this girl. She's a mush. I could literally, and I know I could do this, hold her like upside down and she doesn't care. She's like, all right, Dad, that's enough. Let's see. Yeah. Try to do this with your dog, they'll probably freak out. But it's all about how they're raised. I do have a lot of videos. I have a lot of footage that I couldn't be streaming while I was raising the puppies, but I still have to go back to show you how I was introducing new sounds, new toys to them, raising them so they're more curious and not scared. How they, even if they weren't raised like that when they're 3, 4 weeks old, if you're planning on getting a puppy, what you could be doing when the puppy comes home, that way they aren't scared. Um, so this is little Munchkin. She's not so little anymore, but and then we'll be not traveling, but we'll be going along with her to her vet visits. She's like I said, 7 months old right now. I do plan on breeding her in the future as long as all health checks out. We're gonna have to do certain tests with her. What you should be looking at from your breeder, what tests do they do, OFAs, eye tests, all these different things that should be checked for and documented. Um, and then be on the journey with her. I think she's going to take over this show. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of try to be here with her until she completely takes over, and then it'll be like this. Won't be me anymore, but that's okay because I'll be watching myself. Yeah. So Fluffy. Yeah. Um, so we're gonna go into all of that. Pretty much that's why I decided to say my favorite dog dad. There's a lot of dog moms out there. I know there's other dog dads out there, but I want to be the favorite one. And to be a dog dad, we need to know everything about dogs and how to raise them, bringing them in our lives, and what things are important to know about. I said mostly health wise. Grooming, I believe, is half of that. You get to see their skin, you get to check their hair, you get to notice if there's as groomers, we might notice things, something that's wrong with their skin. I noticed my roommate's dog, her ears were cold, pads were cold. When I went to the vet, that was actually a circulation issue. I didn't know what the issue was, but I knew something was off. We get to see the dogs every 6 to 8 weeks. That's maybe every 2 months. You go to the vet sometimes twice a year, maybe only once a year. So your groomer might not know exactly what it is, but they do notice things in your dog. So that's a very important part, whether it's a groomer or yourself. If it's something just as simple as bathing or going through the seasons right now, like I've lived in the Northeast, we're going to go through what to expect in the hot weather or the cold weather, how to take care of the paws, so they don't get freezer burn, all that good stuff. So there's a lot to be coming. So keep an eye out, turn on your notifications, share this with everybody right now. It's going to be very consistent from this point on. I have a lot going on that I will be sharing and putting out there to share with all of you, and would enjoy your comments and feedback to assist me with this. Like I said, if you're just a pet owner or a pet professional. So have a great night, and welcome to my, we'll be doing a little more here than just a back wall. But like I said, welcome to Indiana now. I'm no longer in Connecticut, but and I think, yeah, Central Time. So I'm gonna put some notifications out there. Or best way, like I said, just subscribe, turn on your notifications, and you'll get the notification on your phone or your tablet or whatever you're looking on when I go live. Because other thing is, I don't have a production crew that's going to be doing this editing, this and that. I'd rather just go live, put the information out there straight. You guys can talk to me, ask me questions right away. I'll try to get to them, and we'll just keep each other informed. So have a great night. Great to see all of you guys back in here. Hope your summer's been well, and be safe with the holidays coming up. And I'll be seeing you guys shortly. And of course, Munchkin will see you guys shortly too. Have a good night.